Welcome to the Diaspora African Success channel. In this video, we are going to be relating it to my previous video, which I discuss the realities of coming to the diaspora. And in that video, I did highlighted 5 truths we were never told before we came to the diaspora. We get here, then we realize that diaspora is not a land of milk and honey as we believe it was before we came on the plane into the diaspora. So I'm going to be building on that content from the previous video. And today I'm going to be discussing investment back home. My focus will be on how we can invest £1,000 sterling if you live in the UK, or $1,000 back home on a project. The reason why I've decided to base my discussion on that sum of money is because we always believe that we have to have huge sums of money before we can do something or a project back home. So the idea of this video is about, if you like, demystifying some of the beliefs that we have or formed, which may not necessarily be true. People will say, or you may say, why do you think it's not true? Well, I'm the living proof of that. I have lived in the diaspora for over 30 years. And some of the things I'm going to be talking to you about on how to invest £1,000 or $1,000 back home in a project, I have done it before. So I'm talking from experience. I'm not just saying it for the sake of it. But before we look at setting up a project, I think it's also very important that I mention some of the reasons why we are reluctant to invest back home in Africa, which is now developing very fast, very, very fast. Some of those beliefs that it's not worth it investing back home, or you were just saying it genuinely from an experience you've had. It could be you bought a land back home, or you were trying to buy a land back home, and then you found that that land was sold to so many people. I have the same experience before. I had it before. Or you send money home for a project, you found that it wasn't used for that project. I had that experience before. But I'm disputing that sometimes it's not the project that can be done. The mistake we make is how we set it up. I have learned from my experience that there are a number of times I want something to be done for me back home, but Unfortunately, I put the wrong person on that project. When I say the wrong person, it's not being disrespectful or anything. It may be the person you put on the project may not have done that project before, but you assume that they can do it. So you entrust it in their hands and the project failed. Or it could be you have asked somebody to do a project for you in farming, but that person doesn't have knowledge in what you ask them to do. It may be you are buying a land or a building or something of that nature back home and it failed. Again, it's not that it can't be done, it's the way you approach it. So I will give you an example. When you want to buy a house, if you live in the UK or in America, you want to buy a house, do you put your brother in charge of it? No. What do? You get the experts to do the deal for you. The experts, that's the estate agents or real estate agents. You get lawyers to look at the legal aspects of the project for you. It doesn't make sense going to spend £20,000 in Ghana. I'm just using that as an example. But you are reluctant to pay a lawyer £200. You want to do it cheaper by sending a relative who doesn't know or didn't have the knowledge about the legalities of buying that land. So why are you surprised when the deal falls through? So it's the way we set up things. That's why they do fail in majority of the cases, because we want to do it cheaper through relatives. Your relative hasn't, no disrespect to him or her, doesn't understand the legalities of real estate, doesn't understand the legalities of title deeds to a land, but you send them, relying on them to go and meet a chief, and you release your money to be given to a chief because they issue you a receipt from a receipt book. I'm sorry to tell you, that is your fault. We live abroad in the diaspora. We've seen how these things, buying a house or going into business, we've seen how it is done. It's not that our countries don't have those structures. They do, but we don't follow them. So I thought I'd throw that in again to dispel the myth that projects don't work back home. They do, but it's the way we do approach them. So that's one. So now let's look at what £1,000 or $1,000 can do back home. One, I like goats. I'm involved in goat farming. I can say £1,000 can buy you goats. If I have £1,000, I can buy around 10 female goats. And those 10 female goats, if looked after properly, fed properly, and the person looking after them, knowing what they are doing. From my experience, that 10 female goats, if they are kept alive, fed properly, within 18 within 12 months to 18 months, those 10 female goats could give you around 15 kids in total. So the kids plus their mothers, that gives you 25 goats. So just imagine if you are able to repeat that, buying 10 goats every month, bit by bit, by the end of the year, after 12 months, you have a total of 120 goats. So let me use my calculator and calculate this. 120 goats with their kids after 18 to 24 months, you will be looking at around 180 goats in total. That's what it is. I've done it before. I know the ratio. I've just calculated that for you. So that's a fact. Just buying 10 goats every month, if you can, you build it and you are consistently doing that, you get 80 goats in a space of 2 years. That's a lot. So that's one example. This example, I will cite it to Ghana. Ghana, when you go to Ghana, you're walking around the roadside and you're going to some of the towns, you find that our people are predominantly small traders. A lot of these traders, they sell in the open spaces. When the rainy season starts, they are at the mercy of the elements. So imagine if you have £1,000 and then you decided to go into the real estate of kiosk. I'm not talking about houses, the real estate of kiosk. So you decided to spend about £1,000 to build a kiosk and rent to a trader. And then you manage to build another kiosk and rent to or lease it to a trader. And that trader pays you weekly. So they pay you weekly, 52 weeks in a year. Just imagine. It may not sound like huge sums of money, but it will compound. And then what you do is, for that kiosk, hiring out kiosks to work, you need to have a system to run it. A system whereby the money is collected, a system whereby the money is paid into your bank account. Over there in Ghana, it can be paid daily or it can be paid weekly. You need to have a system to monitor the payment going into your bank account. That system should be, after each payment from the rent from the kiosk is paid into your bank account, the person who is paying it take photograph of the payment receipts, send it by WhatsApp to you, so you know what is going on. In terms of the goat farming we were talking about, everybody has phones now. We all have videos or cameras on our phones. Why not twice a week link with the person on the farm, see live videos of your animals? Do it that on regular basis. rather than you wait until 6 months, or rather than after a year when you visit, then they told you all the animals died. So again, this is why I'm saying our projects failed, because we set up these projects without systems in place. Systems that are monitored, audited, and followed up consistently. Another example why 1,000 pounds or $1,000 can go far. I will use this example. I know for a fact in Zimbabwe, in Bulawayo, and also in every African country, in our towns and cities, we have this little trucks. I'm not talking about trucks, lorries. I'm not talking about these little trucks in our local markets, whereby you see men pulling them, carrying goods for market traders. In my language, we call them keke. In Zimbabwe, I know they call them scaniers. I know for a fact it's a big business whereby some people have a number of those little trucks which they hired or lease to local men who works in those markets. So those men using the trucks pay the owners fixed sum of money on daily basis. So I haven't checked recently, but I know for a fact that some of those trucks with 300 US dollars, you can have one built for you. So $1,000, you probably have 3 of those trucks. So just look at the sums. Even if they are paying you $5 each a day, and you do that 365 days, it builds up, and you are using that money to reinvest. You are helping your local economy back home. So basically, that's the gist of it. I just want us to think seriously about these things. The discussion we are having today, and my view is little sums of money, what we classify as little sums of money, can do a lot of work back home. Apart from our own business interests, we are creating jobs in one way or the other for our local economies back home. That money, if accounted for properly, paid into your bank account back home, you can actually even found family issues over there, so that if somebody needs to go to hospital to pay hospital fee, doctor's fee, they are paid from that fund. And my point is, such level of money or level of capital will go a long way back home. But we should also think seriously about and understand that the reason why our projects failed back home is because we set them up without systems. Emotions don't run business. Emotions and relationships don't run business. What do I mean by that? Emotions, oh, my brother, or I will fail my brother, I will fail my sister. Therefore, I can't ask them to keep records. No, businesses run on systems. So if you are doing anything back home in the form of a project or an investment, you do not have a system in place, it will fail. So that's the message. And also to reinforce that £1,000 or 1,000 US will go a long way back home to set up a project. So that's the end of the discussion today. Thank you for watching. If you do like my videos, if you do really want to be part of the Diaspora African Success Movement journey, then click on that like button, like the video, subscribe to the channel, make comments, ask questions. It has to be two-way interaction. Once you're doing that, I will be able to use your questions and your suggestions and your views to compile more videos so that we can all learn and grow and be able to go home one day or invest back home. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like it. Don't forget to make your comment. Thank you. See you in the next video.